The streets of Houston just got a whole lot colder, and the music industry is shaking. When you mention the name J. Prince, people usually lower their voices out of respect or fear. But it looks like Finesse2Tymes didn't get the memo. We are witnessing one of the wildest, most public altercations between a major artist and the mob ties empire that we've seen in years. It wasn't just a shouting match. It was a total breakdown of diplomacy that left the internet in a frenzy. Today, we're breaking down every single second of this ugly encounter, the secret beef leading up to it, and why this might be the most dangerous move of Finesse2Tymes' career. Grab your popcorn, because this is getting messy. To understand why this fight is such a big deal, you have to know who's in the ring. Finesse2Tymes has been one of the most talked about rappers coming out of Memphis. After serving serious time, he came out swinging with hits like Back End. He's known for his don't care attitude and for having a lifestyle that's as chaotic as it is successful. But being a tough guy in the rap game is one thing. Taking that energy to Houston is another. On the other side, you have J. Prince Jr., the son of the legendary James Prince, the founder of Rap-A-Lot Records. In Houston, and arguably across the entire U.S. hip-hop scene, the Prince family represents the gatekeepers. J. Prince Jr. runs Mob Ties. Their whole brand is built on loyalty, protection, and respect. You don't perform in certain circles without their blessing. So, when these two worlds collided, it wasn't just two guys fighting. It was a clash of street hierarchies. So what actually happened? Reports began surfacing of a heated exchange outside a high-profile venue. Witnesses say the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife before the first word was even spoken. In the footage that's been circulating, you can see Finesse2Tymes surrounded by his crew, but the atmosphere shifts when J. Prince Jr. and his associates enter the frame. It wasn't just a simple disagreement over a song or a club appearance. This looked personal. Eyewitnesses claim that words were exchanged regarding respect and territory. Things escalated quickly, shoving, shouting, and security scrambling to keep the two sides apart. It got ugly because this wasn't happening in a vacuum. It was happening in front of cameras, in front of fans, and in the heart of a city where reputation is everything. As we know, in 2024/2025, the fight doesn't end when the cameras stop rolling. It moves to Instagram stories. Shortly after the altercation, the cryptic post started. Finesse2Tymes took to his platform to basically say he isn't intimidated by anyone, regardless of their family name. On the flip side, the Mob Ties camp has a history of checking people who don't show proper etiquette. We saw the comments sections turn into a war zone. Fans of Finesse are calling him a real one for standing his ground, while Houston locals are warning him that you don't play with the Prince family in their own backyard. This is where the lifestyle aspect comes in. Living this way means you are constantly looking over your shoulder. This brings up a huge question for the hip-hop industry. Is the gatekeeper era over, or did Finesse just make a massive mistake? We've seen artists in the past get blackballed or find it impossible to book shows in certain cities after falling out with J. Prince Jr. If you're a promoter, do you want to take the risk of booking a show where these two crews might meet again? The ugly truth is that these altercations cost money. They cost tours, they cost features, and sometimes they cost safety. We're looking at the potential decline of a business relationship that could have been lucrative, all because of a moment of pride. At the end of the day, this altercation is a reminder that the rap game isn't just about rhymes and beats, it's about politics. Whether you think Finesse2Tymes was right to stand his ground or J. Prince Jr. was right to demand respect, one thing is for sure, the tension is far from over. We'll be keeping a close eye on both camps to see if a peace treaty is signed or if this beef escalates into something even crazier. But I want to hear from you. Was Finesse2Tymes out of line, or is the Mob Ties influence starting to fade? Drop a comment below and let us know whose side you're on. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We stay on top of the biggest stories in hip-hop, so you don't have to. See you in the next one. To understand the gravity of this altercation, you have to understand Houston. This isn't just any city. It's a place with deep-rooted street protocols. For decades, the Prince family has acted as the unofficial ambassadors. When an out-of-town artist like Finesse2Tymes arrives, there's an expectation of checking in. We've seen this cause friction before with artists like Drake or Migos, But Finesse represents a different breed of artist, one who doesn't believe in gatekeepers. This section explores the unwritten rules that were allegedly broken that night. Is the influence of mob ties fading with the new generation? J. Prince Jr. represents a legacy of power, but the younger rappers coming up today, like Finesse, are fueled by social media and independent success. They feel they don't owe anyone anything. This part of the fight is symbolic. It's the old guard versus the new rebel. We're seeing a shift where respect is no longer given automatically. It's being challenged in the streets and on camera. Finesse2Tymes is no stranger to ugly situations. Having spent years behind bars before his massive comeback, his mindset is hardened. When you've survived the federal system, a confrontation in a club might seem like light work. We take a look at his past legal battles and how his tough guy persona isn't just an act for the music, it's his actual lifestyle. But does this crash-out energy help or hurt his career in the long run? Let's look at the footage again. Notice the entourages. In modern hip-hop, the crash dummy culture is real. People in the background who are ready to lose it all for their artist. During the J. Prince Jr. altercation, the role of security was pivotal. One wrong move from a bodyguard could have turned a wild altercation into a tragedy. We analyze how crew culture often escalates these beefs from a simple conversation to a full-blown riot. This isn't J. Prince Jr.'s first rodeo. From the Offset situation to tensions with NBA YoungBoys camp, the Prince family has a history of being at the center of hip-hop's biggest storms. By looking at how those past beefs ended, some with peace treaties and some with long-term bans from the city, we can predict what might happen to Finesse2Tymes. Is he about to be banned from Houston, or is he too big to fail? Let's talk numbers. When a video like this goes viral, insurance companies for clubs take notice. Promoters start to worry about violence. Finesse2Tymes is at the peak of his earning power, but an ugly reputation can lead to canceled shows and lost brand deals. We break down the street tax, how much money an artist actually loses when they decide to engage in high-profile beef instead of sticking to the music. The internet is a detective agency. Within hours of the altercation, fans were zooming in on jewelry, reading lips, and checking GPS locations. Some say it was over a specific woman. Others claim it was about unpaid protection fees. We look at the top 3 most viral theories circulating on Reddit and Twitter, X, to see which ones actually hold weight and which ones are just clout-chasing rumors. As we wrap this up, we have to look forward. In the world of J. Prince Jr., there's rarely a draw. Someone usually has to bow down or pay up. Will Finesse2Tymes be the first to truly walk away unscathed? Or is this the beginning of a long, drawn-out saga that will haunt his career? The energy in the industry is tense, and all eyes are on Houston for the next move. This wasn't just a fight, it was a warning shot. One of the most ugly realities of crossing a powerhouse like J. Prince Jr. isn't just the physical threat, it's the financial strangulation. In the hip-hop industry, the Prince family carries a weight that reaches far beyond Texas. We've seen it happen before. An artist gets into a wild altercation with mob ties, and suddenly, their club bookings in major cities start getting canceled. Promoters cite security concerns, but the streets know it's the blackball effect. For Finesse2Tymes, who is currently at the peak of his commercial run, a ban from Houston isn't just losing one city, it's losing a culture hub. Houston is a trendsetter. If you can't walk the streets of hometown safely, your brand takes a massive hit. We have to ask, is Finesse's team strong enough to bypass the traditional gatekeepers, or did he just sign a check he can't cash? The industry is watching to see if other moguls will stand with the Prince family, or if they'll stay neutral in this ugly showdown. Let's analyze the psychology here. Why would Finesse2Tymes, a man who just spent years in prison and finally found success, risk it all in a wild altercation caught on camera? In the modern rap game, there is a dangerous trend called crashing out. It's the idea that your reputation is more important than your freedom or your bank account. When J. Prince Jr. stepped to him, Finesse had 2 choices: play the corporate game and de-escalate, or stay true to the streets and react. By choosing to react, he proved his authenticity to his fans, but he also put a target on his back. This ugly incident highlights the constant struggle for rappers who are trying to transition from the block to the boardroom. You can take the rapper out of the streets, but as we saw in this footage, You can't always take the streets out of the rapper. This wasn't just a fight. It was a psychological breaking point. We also have to talk about how the internet fueled this fire. In the seconds following the altercation, clout chasers and bloggers began spinning the narrative. This is where things got even uglier. When a video goes viral, both sides feel pressured to double down. If J. Prince Jr. doesn't respond, he looks weak. If Finesse2Tymes apologizes, he looks like he folded. Social media has removed the quiet diplomacy that used to happen in hip-hop. In the 90s, a phone call would have settled this. In 2025/2026, 1 million people are watching, commenting, and instigating. The digital noise makes it almost impossible for either side to back down without losing face. We are witnessing a new era where the wild nature of these fights is amplified by the comments section warriors who want to see more chaos, regardless of the real-world consequences. But let's look at the background of the footage, the people you didn't notice at first glance. In a wild altercation like this, the real story is often told by the security details. Look at how J. Prince Jr.'s team positioned themselves. This wasn't a random group of friends. This was a coordinated, mob-ties formation. On the other side, Finesse2Tymes' crew showed a raw, aggressive energy that almost broke the line. This is the ugly side of fame that fans don't see. When you reach this level of stardom, your lifestyle requires a literal small army just to go to a club. We have to analyze. Did the security fail by letting them get this close? Or was this a deliberate show of force from the Prince family to remind the industry who really runs the city? When two high-level security details clash, the margin for error is zero. One accidental reach for a waistband, and this wild night would have turned into a national tragedy.